Well, welcome to the Losail circuit here in Qatar. I'm here for the first World Endurance Championship event of the season. It's the Prologue with 14 hours of testing over the next 2 days. We're gonna get to see all of our familiar favorite GT3 and hypercars, as well as the debut of the brand new Aston Martin Valkyrie. It's my first time here in Qatar. I have to say, as you can see, the paddock is probably the most visually stunning paddock that I've ever been in. I keep seeing people stop to take photos of these beautiful overhangs back here. They cast beautiful shadows all over the paddock in the afternoon. You've got the vegetation here, but as much as the paddock is amazing, I'm running behind and I need to get to the media center to do my safety briefing before I can grab my tabard and start filming race cars. All right, safety briefing done. We've been fitted with our tabards. We have fire suits on, we have helmets. This is Brent, by the way, if you don't know who Brent is, but he works for me. They know. He's got the hair. We're gonna both start in the pit lane, 3-hour session, and just get as much stuff as we can. Hopefully cars will be running. Tests are weird because sometimes they'll run a couple laps and come in and work on the car for a long time. So that's why we're just gonna do pit lane and not go trackside, because if you're trackside during that, you're standing around doing nothing because the cars are in the pit lane. So we're gonna start in the pit lane to see how it goes. Also, everyone says the track is much better to shoot at night, and the second session is at night. So we'll probably both go trackside. So we're gonna go kind of get our bearings, figure things out, and shoot some cool Ford Mustangs. Just don't be like Freddie. Just don't be like this all the time. It's all he knows how to do. I've transported myself up onto the 3rd level here above the pit lane, which is really cool. Awesome that there's also an escalator to get up here. I could get used to more racetracks having escalators, but the thing I love about these sort of international or European style tracks, these F1 tracks, is that we get cool pit lanes like this. And this is awesome. I could be up here in the 3rd level and I could shoot the cars as they go down the front straightaway and get all kinds of awesome action. You can also shoot the pit stops from up here. If we just go over like so, you get an amazing view down there of the pit stop happening from above, kind of like that intro shot from Drive to Survive. So I really love, getting to travel to these really cool racetracks with these, awesome pit lanes, because it just really inspires me. I've done a lot of shooting at racetracks in North America. I'm from Canada. I've shot a lot of racing in the United States. So it's cool when I get to travel internationally and just see kind of a different vibe and see different things. That's why my favorite championship to shoot is the World Endurance Championship, because it just gets me inspired. Getting to go to cool places like Qatar and Bahrain and Japan, traveling the world, it's pretty awesome. And it just gives me these cool vibes. I just feel positive. I'm traveling, feeling good. So I'm tired, I'm jet lagged. But I'm gonna spend a little bit of time up here on the 3rd floor doing some shooting while Brent's down in the pit lane. Brent brought some really cool cinema glass with him, and I'm gonna get him to show you guys later on. He's down there with some crazy Zeiss 100mm or something. And I'm just gonna use my regular stuff, just my Sigma 24-70, my Sony 100-400, and get some cool shots from up here. So the Aston Martin Valkyrie hypercar is new for this year, and it's out there right now. It's the first time I'm seeing it in person and I'm hearing it in person. Oh my God. It just sounds immense. That is the best sounding race car that I've heard in a very long time. The Mustang GT3 sounds amazing. The Cadillac sounds amazing. It's gonna go by right now. Raw American muscle. But my God, the Valkyrie sounds like a V10 F1 car. It's giving me goosebumps. It's incredible. I'm so stoked to have it here. We're living in an amazing time of sports car racing where we have so many manufacturers committing to hypercar. Ford just announced they're committing to hypercar. We've got Hyundai Genesis coming. It's getting incredible. It's already incredible. It's only gonna get better. We have so many manufacturers joining. I'm stoked to be a part of it, to be here as part of Ford Performance, filming their Mustang program, and then hopefully in a couple of years being involved in the hypercar program as well. So it's amazing. There's the Valkyrie. even on the pit limiter, it sounds amazing. And the other one's coming down as well. So yeah, it's awesome to be here. Like, I know the future of racing is hybrids like we have now, and eventually electric racing will probably take over hydrogen, but if we ever lose engine notes like that completely, it's going to be a sad time to be a motorsport videographer or a fan sitting in the stands. Session is flying by. There's only a half hour to go. I just made a little pit stop in the media center to order Brent and I some lunch because somebody forgot to sort catering. We're gonna head back into the Ford garage for a little bit, and then I gotta go actually grab our food once it's delivered, because they can't deliver it into the paddock, so you have to hop in the car and go out to the main road and grab it.
It's now time to feast. That delivery guy was here so fast, it's actually ridiculous how fast he was here. Like, he had to wait for me to come out because I had to go out to the main road. Also, this beautiful pepperoni pizza with the delivery, with the Talabat app, was literally less than me. It was like half the price of me, like, in Canada ordering a pizza. Like, it's crazy how cheap it was, actually. I'm cheating on Pizza Hut. Please don't tell anyone that I'm at Papa John's. But hey, Pizza Hut wasn't available in the app, so I had to go with the Papa John's, unfortunately. So we're gonna crush this, and then it'll pretty much be time for the second session.
All right, so this is Mark and Brent from the future, because I forgot to film this earlier, but Brent's now going to explain and talk about some of the cool lenses that he brought with him, because he did bring some really interesting lenses. Like, I bring basic lenses, and then Brent brings all the colorful, fun lenses. So
this trip switched it up slightly versus the lenses that we had before. Have the standard 200 to 600 workhorse, all on-track stuff, usually shot with this, or Mark's 400 or the 7200. Fun lens we haven't had out in a while is the Iron Glass Helios 422 anamorphic.
it basically looks like it has laser beams. Like, I'll put it on the screen right now. You can see what it looks like. But
I don't know if you see that. It's got the cat eye. It's got the purple. The best cheap lens you can get.
Few $100. Like,
you know, if you don't get the cinema mounted or cinema housed one, very cheap, very good, but you got to get it from Iron Glass. They're the best out of Ukraine. Then we have Monster Zeiss 100 Macro. This is just a amazing lens. I have the whole kit, but I only brought this one for shooting mostly eyes and. But this is also Duclos modified out of LA. Shout out to Duclos. Then we have the same Zeiss series. This is also a...
This is Drew. This lens is affectionately known as...
This is Drew. Solid 35-1.4 Zeiss. Same glasses, same series as this Zeiss. But this is a E-mount, which I just picked up from a guy in the States. I believe his name's Julian. This is picked up from a guy I know in the States, a cinematographer. I believe his name's Julian. Super solid, crazy lens nut. And then we have a Canon fisheye 8-15. This is the fisheye for me right now, as opposed to a real depth lens that would be a Century Optics, but that's kind of older and just not used for me anymore.
It's got a Metabones adapter.
These two are EF mount native. These two are EF mount, or sorry, these two are EF. No, sorry, these two are Sony mount. These two are Canon mount, and then I have two adapters. At Sebring, I think we'll bring out some more wacky lenses and see how we go.
Hello again. Night has fallen here at the LaSalle Circuit. Well, twilight anyway. The sky's looking really pretty over there. Now I'm headed trackside for the second and final session of the day. Now this is a 4-hour long session from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. So a lot of time for cars to be out on the racetrack, but will they be? That's the question, because the thing about testing is that there's a lot going on, but then there's also not a lot going on when it comes to cars on track, because teams are using this as an opportunity to, you know, test. And some of the cars, like the Aston Martin Valkyrie and some of the newer hypercars or cars with new driver lineups, they're all just kind of like, you know, even treating this as a shakedown, going out, making sure the car is working properly. You know, they're not really running at full speed or trying too hard. They're just kind of making sure there's no issues with the cars. So in the first session, we saw a lot of maybe 3, 4, 5 lap runs, and then they would come in and sit in the garage and work on the car for a half hour. Testing for us, the Prologue weekend, is really more about doing media stuff, you know, having time with the drivers to do, you know, headshot shoots or do static shoots with the cars and things like that. Now, as much as there is, of course, these sessions going on, like I said, you know, sometimes not a lot happens. So it's rarely super exciting, but I'm gonna head out now. First time trackside here at the LaSalle circuit. Brett and I both did pit lane for all 3 hours of the first session. Not feeling super excited about shooting trackside because it looks like in a lot of places you are very far from the cars, so you need a long lens all the time, pretty much. But here, the final turn, you're actually quite close on driver's right, as we call it, so the right-hand side of the circuit. And I think we can get pretty close here and get a pretty good shot, maybe even just at like 50 millimeter, a nice wide. But we'll see how it goes. The lights are beautiful, and everyone tells me the track really comes to life at night, despite, you know, the track maybe not being the most exciting looking circuit to shoot. We'll be able to make some great content. I was just talking about how testing is really exciting. Well, we're already under a full course yellow, about 10 minutes into the session, and none of our cars are running right now. So, and we've been told it's probably gonna be about 45 minutes to an hour until they are running. So I'm gonna actually hop in the next shuttle that comes and head back in and maybe do some editing or go see what Brent's up to in the pit lane, maybe throw my fire suit on and do the pits for a while because, yeah, not super exciting out here at the moment. Hello. I'll just go back to the paddock. Thank you. Is this one right? Hello. Yes. Can I get a Coke Zero, please? Amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, I guess that'll do. Yeah, not a lot going on right now, so we're just hanging out on this bench in the paddock, waiting for things to happen. One of the fours actually earlier had an issue where there was a fire, and they're fixing it now. Probably going to be a while until it's ready. Definitely not going to make this session. Hopefully it'll be out tomorrow, but we'll see. And then the other Ford, they're just kind of working on it. They don't want to have the same issue, so they're just kind of like checking over some things, checking the systems, and hopefully they'll get out in an hour or so. But for right now, we're just hanging out, trying to use our time effectively. Not really, we're just chilling. Sometimes you just gotta chill, you know, you just gotta relax, recharge the batteries, and, you know, yeah, exciting. Shooting testing is exciting. So we did a little bit more stuff in the pit lane there. Went down and saw Kamui, filmed awesome stuff of Kamui getting in the car. I shot with this. You watching? This is a ridiculously cheap tilt shift lens called a Lens Baby. They're like 400 bucks. This thing is wild. It shoots the bokeh in different directions as you move the lens around. And I really only use it for Kamui stuff because like he's weird and he likes it. He has a Leica and stuff. He's like he's very artsy. I've had a few Japanese clients over the years and they always, every one of them has always really enjoyed like me doing artsy, interesting stuff. So that's really cool. They have a lot of cool stuff in Japan. Japan's amazing, best country. But yeah, we're actually, we have an hour and a half left in this session still and it's hour 20, it's 8:40 p.m. And we're gonna go trackside. Neither of the Fords is gonna run today, unfortunately, but we're gonna go trackside, get some shots of Kamui's car. And yeah, we're gonna do a little video for Kamui because he's been a long time client, friend of mine. So I'll do a little something for him because we have nothing else to do right now. So we're gonna go trackside and yeah, should be enjoyable. The session feels like it's taking forever. It's like I was already trackside earlier in the session and I'm actually wearing a sweater despite we're being in the Middle East. It's actually quite cold right now.
It's like 16 degrees Celsius, but the wind is really cold. So I've got my sweater on, but I got my shorts. I'm not that much of a wuss, okay? And my brand new white shoes that I bought. Dangerous to wear white shoes at a racetrack, but we're all about style these days. Look how stylish Brent is. Like, it's got the slip-on Hokas.
Just re-upped.
If you've watched this far into the vlog, I'm really sorry.
Really digging this spot right here. This is probably the closest we can get to the cars here trackside in Bahrain. And yeah, it's pretty solid. You can get a nice, really quick pan, but you gotta be really quick with your hips. I think even with a tripod, like, you'd really struggle here. You gotta do it handheld. But, you can get a really nice close shot. There's spark in here sometimes. The Valkyrie was just sparking that time, so there's a lot of cool shots to be had right here. Tomorrow I definitely need to get to the outside of the circuit because all the shots I have right now are the cars going left to right. We definitely need some shots of the cars going right to left. So there's only about 20 minutes left. So next time I see a shuttle, I think I'm going to hop in and head back to the media center.
Well, welcome back to my hotel room at the Premier Inn in Doha Education City. Do you know there's a Northwestern University campus here in Qatar? And it's lit up purple at night. It has a bunch of like purple lights all pointing at it. Everything here is lit up really fancy at night. We went to like that Stargate thing the other night and shot this really bad time lapse. Kind of looks like the ring from Halo 2 or like a crab claw. I'm calling it a Stargate. Most people watching this probably don't know what a Stargate is, but Google it or ask your parents what it is. But anyway, not a bad day overall. I mean, 7 hours of running, obviously dealing with cars having issues and whatnot. But you know what? We got everything done that we needed to get done. Pretty happy with what we were able to accomplish. We're home just after midnight. So we got to the track at 11 a.m. and then got back to the hotel at midnight. So 13-hour day, not bad. But before I go to bed, we'll quickly do the Merben video shower review. So this is my shower here at the Premier Inn. Now, I have to say, it's not great. So first off, it's a bathtub. Right? So usually in the Middle East, you get a bathtub with, like, usually it's that terrible European style thing where like there's a piece of glass that goes to about here and then a shower head. And that's usually what they'll have in the Middle East at a lot of the hotels. But this one's weird because you have a shower curtain, like I have, you know, very popular in North America, and it's the ring bar shower curtain. So so it doesn't hit you, it doesn't stick to you at all. But it has a rainfall head. Don't get it. And the water pressure is really bad. So you have to stand like jammed up here, like really small to stand under this. And the pressure is really bad and it's just not a very fun experience. So like 2 out of 10, it's pretty crap. Not super impressed. But other than that, the hotel's amazing. So everything else about this hotel is fantastic. Gym's nice. It's in a decent area where I can go running. Do have to be careful when making the few road crossings because stop signs here are optional and turn signals apparently don't exist in this country. So you do have to be quite careful when you're driving in Doha. So yeah, good day overall. I will see you all at the racetrack tomorrow morning.
The next day.
Well, pit lane was fun, and then about 15 minutes into the session, we got red flag, and now we're being told that it's going to be at least another half hour until we find out what's going on. There's no visuals during the prologue, so we don't know like what caused the red flag, and I don't have a radio, so it just says more information about the restart at 1300 hours, and it's 12:33 now, so about another half hour. So I'm going to use the time to maybe do some editing and definitely not watch the Supercars race from Sydney on my laptop in the media center.
Man, that Supercars race was a banger. Cam Waters, last lap pass on Brock Feeney. Drag race to the line. Loved it. I'm headed back to the pit lane now because we're back running again. They've actually added an hour back after the barrier repair, so it's basically just kind of a running clock all day. There'll be a 1 hour gap, but In a way, it's just kind of treating it like it's almost like Indy 500 practice, where they're just kind of green for the whole day, and you just go shoot what you need and whatnot. So it doesn't really change much for us, to be honest. But had a little break there. It was nice. We're gonna head back to the garage and see what's up. So one thing you probably noticed with a lot of the pit lane footage is that there are a lot of photographers and videographers filming in the same places at the same time. So one of the biggest skills you need to develop if you're going to do this for a living is basically having eyes on the back of your head. Not only protecting yourself, but also not getting in Drew's way, which I definitely ruined his shot from the back when he was shooting the crew. But
Nah, it was fine.
I'm just explaining to them how important it is to be respectful of other photographers, at least have an idea of where other guys are and kind of somewhat be respectful. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but also sometimes, like, if there's another video guy here, I'd say you have priority because it's your team. So, and I'm like that. If I need to shoot like Ferrari for a magazine and the Ferrari guy's there, like if he screws me over, I'm like, well, it's kind of his car, it's kind of his show. The same as I would be like, I'm mindful at Aston Martin, but if I have to get in there, then some guys might get screwed over a little bit.
Yeah, and I think, especially when there's like the guys that shoot for the organization, it's kind of tough because there's so many of them and they're everywhere and you don't want to get in their way, but it's also like, guys, there's 40 cars to shoot. I work for this team. I need to get this shot. So it's just being mindful and just don't be a dick. So much of life is just don't be a dick.
Yeah, and quite often if you communicate, the two of you get better pictures than if you both ruin each other's shots.
Yeah, like Drew and I will do that all the time. Just before this, like, where are you gonna go? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try and get out of your way if I can. Like, so
Yeah,
no,
like
it's
I'm gonna go in tight, I'm gonna go in loose, I'm gonna go in tight, whatever. Like just then you can both kind of either do the same shot, or I know if Mark's gonna follow the driver, then I can hide him and do a guy like a wheel guy or something like that.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you, Drew, is how has your life changed since the documentary came out?
I don't even recognize the man I was last year. Like,
Can't even walk the streets anymore.
I mean, obviously I was extremely wealthy before the documentary, and so the money hasn't changed, but just the fame, you know, the celebrities.
Yeah, go watch Drew's documentary. What's it? Drew Gibson in Focus.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. We call it Drew to Survive, but Drew Gibson in Focus. Go watch it. It's on YouTube. After you're finished watching this video.
Dinner time. Went again, ordered from Talabat, the local delivery app, and got an acai bowl. And it's not bad. It's not the best acai bowl I've ever had, but for one that rode in the back of a scooter for 20 minutes, it's pretty good. Brian, how's your salad?
Good.
It's healthy food. And then we also got sweet potato fries because, you know, you gotta treat yourself sometimes. So we're gonna eat this up and then basically go trackside, split up 2 different spots and shoot the sunset, which will basically only have about 15 minutes before it goes down. So I have to try and nail it right away.
Alrighty, so this is the spot that I've chosen for sunset. I'm going to shoot backlit, so I'm going to be shooting the front of the car as it comes towards me with the sun in the background. So I'm standing here, camera pointing this way. We get a beautiful backlit shot. Hopefully the track is on fire right now, meaning that it's lit up, and anywhere where the track is shining, that is a good spot to be during golden hour. So that's kind of how I judge it. I didn't really know where I was going because I'm still very new to this circuit, so I just got in the shuttle with Skippy and Nick and came out here. They said this would be good, and it looks like it is going to be pretty good for a straight head-on shot with the sun behind. And right now it looks pretty decent. There is some cloud cover up there that's kind of diffusing the sun, kind of acting like a big softbox, but I mean, I think it'll look all right. So, you know, it is what it is. We have another sunset next week. In fact, I think we get one during practice and we'll have one during the race. So, yeah, hopefully we get some absolute bangers that you can see right now.
So I've managed to hitch some rides on this golf buggy with James Moy and the Toyota guys. James is the Toyota photographer. And out here, I don't even know what turn I'm at. I really feel like I should learn the turns here, but I just haven't really been trackside that much. So this is a really nice shot where I am, this beautiful sort of wide where I'm shooting at about 100 millimeter or 135 and getting a really nice shot of the car, like panning the car, all of the light standards above it. It looks really nice. So I'm warming up to the track. Despite the fact that we are very far away from the cars, I still think that like with the lights and everything, it's true that the track really does come to life at night. Shooting it during the day, like Brent went out today and he said it was really tough with the haze. He jokes that it's the stink lines.
You got the stink lines and everything.
It really does come to life at night, so it looks pretty fantastic. So I'm just gonna hitch a ride with these guys until they head back, and then basically gonna spend the rest of the night editing. Our Ford is not out there. We're not even sure if it's gonna run this session, so they're working on it in the garage, but hey. I can't control if the cars go out or not. I can just point my camera at them if they're out.
Hello. Back in the media center now, and just doing some editing. There's about an hour left in the session. Brent is in the pit lane. The 88 Ford is now back out on track, so he's hoping to get some driver changes and stuff. Hopefully they'll do some driver changes. I'm just working on edits right now, so working on our Prologue recap video. I'll give you a little sample here. Some really good slow-mo stuff that Brent shot yesterday. It's not color graded yet, but some really good stuff there and just a little action. So yeah, looking forward to finishing this edit up and getting it sent off. Pretty happy with what we have so far. I think we've done a pretty good job this weekend, despite the fact that, given the situation we've been in where the cars haven't been running, obviously one car damaged and not running at all other than partway through the first session yesterday. So, but again, it's one of those things where you can make all the plans you want, but there's always going to be things in racing and in sports that are outside your control. But I've talked about this before. This is why I love shooting sports, because you have no control of the situation, right? And when you capture something truly great and make something incredible, like, it's that much more rewarding because you really had no control of the situation. But yeah, gonna keep working away at this edit, and then I think I'll throw it in the video here so you guys can check it out.
So we're done at the track, and now Brent and I had the most mid dinner of all time at KFC. Almost as mid as his parking job. So let's wrap up the prologue. That was interesting. 2 days, 14 hours of running, where a lot of teams didn't run, issues with the cars, just standard testing stuff. Personally, I think it was a little bit too much running, but I understand with the new hypercars and things like that, having a lot of cars, giving cars a lot of time on track makes a lot of sense. So we got a lot of stuff out of it. We were able to film some really cool things, and we were able to get what we could of the 88 car. We got a lot of cool stuff for the drivers. So, and just got a chance to even hang out with the drivers and get closer to them, which is always great because it's going to help us do our job. So, having that relationship with your clients and the drivers and everything is super important. That's what I always tell people, going to those dinners and maybe, making some sacrifices and, not going back to the hotel and chilling and going to that PR event just to be seen is really important because, you get FaceTime with your clients and things like that. So, and that goes a long way for maintaining those client relationships. So it was a fun weekend. It's cool to be here in Qatar. First time here. I've really enjoyed it. Everyone here, the hospitality has been amazing. Everyone's been super kind. So it's been a lot of fun. But I'm already ready to go for now free practice for the actual 12 kilometers of Qatar. So I have to now go to the pit lane for FP1, and we're going to jump right into the race day vlog. So thank you so much for watching the prologue vlog. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone that's subscribed to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, please think about it, because 70% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, which is interesting, but hey, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. I know a lot of people are watching on a TV, so it takes a lot of effort to hit the subscribe button or to go up and hit the like button, but just do it. Hit the arrow up, hit the like button. It goes a long way with the algorithm. I had a lot of fun making my videos from Daytona, but they kind of got nerfed, a couple of them. 2 of the 4 just didn't do very well, and I think the content was just as good as the other ones, but for whatever reason, the algorithm just didn't pick them up. So, but hey, it's all about having a good time and having fun. Thanks so much for watching the prologue vlog. I do really appreciate it, and I have to now go grab my cameras right here and head into the Proton garage, because free practice 1 starts in 15 minutes.